My dear Gemini, perhaps right now you're sensing something unusual, as if there's an undercurrent shifting beneath your life, but it hasn't revealed its name yet. You may find yourself tossing and turning at night, or suddenly going quiet in the middle of a conversation, only to wonder, why is my heart beating so fast? Don't think of it as mere fatigue. The universe is whispering to you that an inevitable event is drawing near, and this time, it won't resemble anything you've ever experienced before. You still believe you're in control of everything, don't you? That you know what you need to do, where you need to go, and who you need to connect with. But the truth is, this September, a fated door is opening for Gemini, and it will shake the very ground of everything you thought you held firmly. What lies ahead is not just a change, it is a split. On one side is the life before September, and on the other is a new journey, where your soul is compelled to grow, whether you're ready or not. If you've been noticing subtle signs that are hard to explain, like recurring dreams, conversations that strike right at your heart, or a glance that startles you, as if someone could see straight through you, then that's the reminder that you've been chosen to step into this phase. This is no longer a story of coincidence. This is a script written long ago for your soul, and perhaps you already know, no one is ever truly ready for such profound transformations. But believe this, you are not alone. We will walk through this journey together, step by step. If you feel this energy knocking at your heart, leave a comment. Gemini is ready. Hit like and subscribe so you won't miss the next messages. Now, take a deep breath, prepare yourself a cup of tea or your favorite coffee, and join me in this conversation. A conversation I believe the universe has arranged for you to be here, at this exact place, at this exact moment. 1. Warning and the inevitable turning point. My dear Gemini, perhaps right now you are carrying within you a very strange feeling, as if an invisible current of energy is shifting right beneath the familiar surface of your life. You still wake up, still go to work, still talk, still laugh like every other day, but deep inside, there is a nameless void that is slowly expanding. At times, it makes you sit in silence, staring into the distance without knowing what you're really thinking. Sometimes you even ask yourself, why do I feel both restless and excited at the same time? Don't mistake it for fleeting exhaustion. This September, the universe has arranged an inevitable turning point for Gemini. You are the Zodiac sign of reason, of connections, of sharp intelligence. You usually believe that if you analyze deeply enough, you can control any situation. But let me tell you the truth. This time, no plan, no preparation can take you out of the current that the universe has chosen for you. Because the event unfolding this September is what will divide your life into two halves, before September and after September. You may not realize it yet, but you've arrived at a milestone where your soul must grow up, whether your mind is ready or not. The signs have already begun to show. Perhaps you've been having recurring dreams, filled with blurry images that somehow feel strangely familiar. Perhaps you've had conversations that seemed random, but opened up deep questions you've been avoiding. Or maybe it was simply a moment when you met someone's gaze and felt as though you were being seen through, as if a secret message was delivered just for you. None of this is coincidence. It is the reminder that Gemini is entering the most important energetic phase of 2025. Astrologically, this September, Mercury, your ruling planet, will align with Jupiter and Pluto in a rare trine. This is the moment when your intellect expands, but at the same time is tested by truths you may not yet be ready to face. For Gemini, this event is like a giant wave. You may ride it far into the distance, or be pulled into the undertow if you cling to outdated beliefs. Saturn, standing in opposition, also adds pressure, forcing you to sift through which relationships truly nourish your soul and which are merely distractions that keep you busy yet empty. Even more important, the sun's movement through your fourth house will stir questions about your inner home, about foundation, family, and true safety. This is where you'll most clearly see the void inside your heart, leading you to realize that it's time to rebuild from the roots. Meanwhile, Neptune's activation of your 10th house whispers, is the career or social image you're chasing really what your soul desires, or just a role you've been playing to earn approval? This is why you feel uneasy. Your soul is ready for evolution, but your mind still clings to the comfort zone. This tug-of-war is the very doorway you must walk through. And once the door opens, there is no turning back. Understand this. No one can ever be fully prepared for such a massive transformation. But you can choose how you step into it. In fear or in trust. Because what's coming to you is not punishment. It is an invitation. A sign that the universe trusts you are strong enough to enter this new chapter. My dear Gemini, if you feel these signs striking your heart, if you too are standing at the threshold of transformation, leave a comment. Gemini is ready for September. Hit like and subscribe so you won't miss the next messages. This is only the beginning, and the journey ahead is long, filled with mysteries the universe is waiting to reveal to you. So, take a deep breath. Set aside the worries still lingering in your mind. Prepare yourself a warm cup of tea or coffee. Sit down, be still, and let's begin this journey. A journey I believe the universe has written especially for you long before you heard these words. To Gemini's ego and the greater power. My dear Gemini, do you realize that most of your life has revolved around searching for meaning and piecing together scattered fragments into a coherent picture? You are the Zodiac sign of quick thinking, of flexible intellect, of the ability to turn chaos into a logical story. And you often believe that, as long as you analyze enough, explain enough, then everything will remain under your control. But this September, the universe will give you a completely different experience. Some things will happen with no explanation strong enough to capture them. Some events will force you to drop the key of reason and step into the path of trust. Mercury, Gemini's ruling planet, is the soul of intellect, communication, and connection. This September, Mercury forms a rare trine with Jupiter and Pluto. This trine is like a gateway, where your mind is no longer confined to familiar frames of reference, but stretched into deeper layers of truth. Jupiter, the planet of expansion, will push you to look further, beyond your comfort zone. Pluto, the planet of rebirth and hidden power, demands that you strip away the mask and face what's been buried in the dark. And Mercury, your very essence, will become the bridge, forcing you to admit that human intellect has limits, but the wisdom of the universe does not. What does this mean for Gemini? It means that in September, you'll encounter situations that suddenly make you realize analysis no longer helps. You may spend hours trying to find reasons why a relationship has shifted, why an opportunity appears or disappears, but every hypothesis ends in a dead end. And only then will you understand. This is the time to try a different approach. Letting go. Not letting go of your life, but letting go of control through the mind, so that intuition and trust can guide you. In astrology, when Mercury trines Jupiter, your intellect expands to the point where you can suddenly see bigger pictures. You might suddenly grasp connections between events that seemed unrelated. But when this trine includes Pluto, the expansion doesn't come from books or theories, but from the collapse of old beliefs. That is why this month you may see familiar situations being overturned. A person you thought you knew suddenly shows a completely different side. A plan you were sure of suddenly stalls. An opportunity you thought was yours veers in another direction. But instead of resisting, the universe reminds you, this is not loss. This is a realignment. Gemini's ego, so accustomed to being valued for intelligence and for the ability to adapt, will be shaken when it realizes that this time, none of those skills can keep control in your hands. But remember, this is not humiliation, it is awakening. The universe is teaching you humility, teaching you that there are layers of power greater than personal will. You don't need to know everything to keep moving forward. In fact, sometimes it is precisely not knowing that opens a new door. Imagine this. You are standing before a foggy field. Your old instinct wants you to wait until daylight, to see the road clearly before you take a step. But your soul knows that if you hesitate, the opportunity will vanish. This September, Gemini is invited to walk straight into the fog, to learn how to sense with the heart instead of the eyes. And only by stepping forward will the path gradually reveal itself. The influence of the Mercury, Jupiter, Pluto trine will be amplified by Saturn, standing in opposition. This is the test. Do you truly trust your intuition and the greater power, or will you cling to your comfort zone, stubbornly holding on to useless explanations? Saturn brings the challenge, but it also brings the new structure once you pass. My dear Gemini, remember that you don't need control to be strong. Your true strength lies in flexibility, in adaptability, and in the trust that even when you don't see the whole picture, the universe is still guiding you in the right direction. And now I want to ask you, do you have the courage to let go of control and step into the greater plan of your soul? If you feel this message touching your heart, leave a comment. I trust the universe. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because the journey ahead still holds many mysteries, and you are meant to be guided all the way to your fullest potential. Part 3. The Influence by Gemini Birth Groups. My dear Gemini, the universe never sends messages in a generic way. Even though we are all under the same sky, the energy flows into each soul differently. This September, the astrological arrangement not only calls Gemini collectively into a new chapter, but also divides clearly by birth groups, so that every journey carries a personal shade and every experience paints a unique mark that you must live through. Group May 21. May 31. These are the Geminis who begin the journey, carrying within them an innate curiosity, always searching for answers to who am I and where do I come from. This September, the sun passes through the 4th house, the house of roots and family, shining directly onto your deepest foundations. This may awaken emotions you thought had long been asleep. Childhood memories, feelings of abandonment, fears about safety. You may suddenly feel a desire to return to your family or wrestle with unresolved ties to parents or relatives who left imprints on your heart. This is not coincidence. The universe wants you to look back at the very ground that built who you are today. If there are fractures that have not been healed, September will bring them to light for you to mend. And when you dare to walk through, you will realize that true safety does not lie in external circumstances, but in your own ability to embrace yourself in your most fragile truth. Group the 1st of June, the 10th of June. For Geminis born in early June, The most prominent energy this month revolves around relationships. Venus, the planet of love, when combined with Saturn, the planet of trials and structure, creates a special energy field across your 7th, 11th houses. This means your social ties and intimate connections will be placed under scrutiny. Those who truly bring you support and sincerity will remain. Those who are only filling a void will disappear. September will feel like a test. Are you willing to release surface-level connections in order to preserve and nurture those that truly touch your soul? There will be farewells, some gentle, others abrupt. But don't worry, because that space is necessary for fated bonds to arrive. For this group, an unexpected conversation, a chance encounter could become a turning point, bringing you a partner, a soul friend, or even a love that changes how you see the world. Group the 11th of June, the 21st of June. For Geminis born in late Gemini season, creativity and career will be the biggest themes this month. Neptune, the planet of intuition, dreams, and inspiration, strongly activates your 10th, 12th house axis. This is like an invisible current flowing through you, stirring ideas and potentials you've never touched before. You may suddenly feel drawn to an artistic field, a new form of expression, or even an entirely different career path. This is a chance for your soul to reveal its true talent. But it's also a time when you can easily fall into illusions. Neptune brings endless inspiration, but if you only dream without action, you'll find yourself lost in fog. The universe is inviting you to dream big, while staying grounded enough to turn vision into a practical plan. Let intuition lead, but anchor yourself in discipline so every step has form, not just fleeting ideas. The common thread for all three groups is this: September will be unlike any month before. You will be drawn back to exactly where you need healing, exactly the lesson you need to learn, and exactly the potential you need to awaken. For the late May group, it is about roots and identity. For the early June group, it is about relationships and sincerity. For the mid to late June group, it is about creativity and career. The universe will not let you get lost. All of it is part of the symphony written just for Gemini, to help you become the strongest and truest version of yourself. My dear Gemini, which group are you in? Do you recognize what I've just described unfolding in your life? Leave your birth date in the comments, share your experience, and don't forget to subscribe so I can bring you even deeper insights in the next videos. This is the way to make sure you never miss a single message the universe intends just for your Gemini soul. 4. Spiritual earthquake and the rebirth process. My dear Gemini, this September will feel like a spiritual earthquake for you. Not a small tremor, but a shaking from the roots, strong enough to bring down anything fragile. You may have grown used to confidently walking guided by your reason, analyzing situations so that you always stay in control. But this time you'll see clearly that some things are beyond human control. And this does not come to destroy you. It comes to break away what is false, so you can be reborn into a form that truly belongs to you. This upheaval is clearly reflected through the astrological patterns of the month. Mercury, Gemini's ruling planet, will form a powerful trine with Pluto. This is the sign of the end of an old cycle and the beginning of a new one. Pluto never arrives gently. It digs deep, peels away layers, forces you to face parts of your soul you usually avoid. It could be the fear of abandonment, the insecurity of not being recognized, or the sense that you always have to hide your vulnerability to appear strong. When Mercury joins hands with Pluto, all of this will be dragged into the light, leaving you no choice but to acknowledge and heal. At the same time, Jupiter opens up a vast field of energy, pushing you to look beyond what's right in front of you. In the chaos of the quake, you'll catch glimpses of new doors, unexpected opportunities. Jupiter is like a message. Don't just focus on what's falling apart. Pay attention to what's emerging from the rubble. That is the gift the universe is offering you. Neptune's activation of your 10th-12th house brings an even subtler lesson. Between dreams and reality, there is always a line. You may feel overflowing with creative inspiration, full of new ideas, but without clarity, you could easily fall into illusion. A spiritual earthquake doesn't just topple old beliefs. It invites you to discern what is the true call of your soul and what is only a beautiful dream without foundation. Neptune wants you to trust intuition while also learning to ground it in concrete action. Saturn also plays its role, like a strict teacher in this process. It reminds you that rebirth is not a miracle happening overnight. It requires discipline, patience, and honesty with yourself. September may leave you feeling exhausted, even confused, as you both let go and rebuild. But Saturn whispers, only perseverance will keep you standing after the shaking. In this quake, Gemini will face 3 major choices. First, will you continue wearing the mask, smiling when you want to cry, saying, "I'm fine," when your heart is storming inside? Or will you dare to live authentically, allowing others to see your most fragile and real self? Second, will you hold on to the safe road, the steady job, the relationships without depth, the things that feel secure but no longer nourish your soul? Or will you step onto the path your intuition longs for, even if it is foggy and uncertain? Third, will you let fear cage you in the dark, or will you choose to grow, to walk as a new version of yourself, stronger, clearer? My dear Gemini, earthquakes only destroy what was weak to begin with. They cannot touch what is truly your essence. After the shaking, you will realize true strength is not about controlling everything, but about walking through chaos with the trust that the universe is leading you to the right place. And when you dare to trust, you will see every collapse is just the foundation for a new chapter. Every loss, just the space for new life to flow in. This is not an ending. This is a beginning. An invitation for you to die and be reborn, for your soul to be freed from old chains. And if you are reading these words, it means you are ready, at least in some part of you, to step through this doorway of rebirth. So if you feel this energy knocking on your heart, write in the comments, "I am ready for rebirth." And don't forget to subscribe to affirm your commitment to your own soul. Because the journey ahead will not be easy, but it will absolutely be worth it. For a completely new Gemini is waiting to be born from within you. 5. Guidance and call to action. My dear Gemini, we have traveled together through a long journey where each layer of September's energy has been unveiled, and every astrological message has been reflected into your heart. And now, I want you to pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and feel that everything arriving to you is not by chance. This is an initiation ritual, a destined moment chosen by the universe for you to cross, to shed your old skin, to die as an old version of yourself, and to be reborn in brighter light. This September, Gemini is invited into a special journey, the journey of symbolic death and the rebirth of the soul. Mercury, your ruling planet, connects with Pluto, Jupiter, and Neptune, painting an astrological picture like a wide-open door. Pluto reminds you, there is no rebirth without an ending. Jupiter gives you the faith that behind every loss lies an expansion. Neptune whispers into your intuition, Trust your dreams, listen to the subtle signals. And Saturn, from another angle, stands firm like a teacher, reminding you that there are no shortcuts to maturity. Only patience and honesty can take you far. Gemini, pay attention to your dreams during the nights of September. Do not dismiss them. A strange dream may contain the code for your next step. A seemingly random encounter on the street may be a delicate arrangement of the universe. An inexplicable urge to write, to call someone, to change, could be the voice of your soul. This is the time when your intuition is sharper than ever. And if you learn to listen, you will never lose your way. I know this process is not easy. There will be days when you feel chaotic, as if everything in your life is shaking. There will be times when you feel stuck at a crossroads, not knowing where to go. But remember, chaos is only temporary. It is like the moment when a caterpillar melts inside the cocoon before it grows wings to fly. You are in that stage, no longer the old you, but not yet fully the new you. And that is normal. Do not blame yourself if you feel uncertain, weak, or even tempted to turn back. The universe is asking for your patience, because every great transformation passes through a dark stage. My dear Gemini, beyond this chaos is another you, more authentic, stronger, brighter. It is the you of maturity, of light, of freedom. You no longer need to wear masks to please the world. You no longer need to cling to relationships just to fill emptiness. You no longer have to prove your worth through the eyes of others, because you will know that worth has always been within your soul since the day you were born. And this September is simply the moment for you to remember, to reclaim, to walk with that power fully. See September as a sacred appointment from the universe. It says, it is time for you to evolve. It is time to stop living as fragments and live as a whole being. The universe did not randomly choose who to send this message to. If you are hearing these words, it means you have been chosen, and it means you are ready, at least on some level, to step through your doorway of destiny. Gemini, I want you to know that you are not alone. There are many other Geminis, all around the world, going through this same shaking. And when you share your journey, when you admit, I am changing, you will feel supported, connected, and accompanied. So, if you are truly ready to step through this doorway of destiny, write in the comments, I choose to evolve. Consider it a pledge to your soul, a marker of the day you chose to live more fully. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because what you have just walked through is only the beginning. Ahead lies an even greater journey, and I will always be here to walk with you, decoding every sign, every gift the universe sends down. My dear Gemini, this September is your initiation ritual. You have reached the threshold. The final question is, will you stand still out of fear, or will you step forward out of love for your own soul? I believe you already know the answer. My dear Gemini, the journey we've just taken together in this video is not merely lines of dry astrology, but a spiritual map for you to see your own path more clearly. The greatest lesson the universe wants to give you this September is this. Sometimes you need the courage to release control in order to learn how to trust. The upheavals, the collapses, and the chaos you are going through are not punishments. They are preparations for your growth, so you can be reborn into a stronger and more authentic version of yourself. In real life, this can be applied immediately. When you find yourself overly anxious about controlling outcomes, pause, relax, and listen to your intuition. When faced with a choice, don't just pick the safe path. Ask yourself which path makes you feel truly alive. When you encounter loss, trust that the universe is clearing space for something newer, greater, and better to enter. These lessons will not only change your September, but also reshape the way you walk through all the days to come. And if you have truly felt this energy, leave a comment saying, "I choose to evolve," because that is not just a phrase. It is a pledge to your own soul. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next messages from the universe, messages that will continue to walk with you and illuminate your journey. Gemini, you were not born to live a small life. You were born to evolve, to shine, to become the best version of yourself. Remember, you are never alone on this path. We are always in this together. See you in the next video, where we will continue decoding the universe's secrets and opening new doors of destiny.